In our similes and metaphors assignment, there is a table present, and it is essential to format this table to make it more universally accessible. To do so, we're going to be exploring the accessibility checker in Canvas. But first, I want to show you how I inserted this table. I would select where I wanted to insert the table. In this case, my cursor is at the front of instructions, and then go into the menu buttons and choose Table from the left-hand side. I'm going to click on the drop-down to insert a table that would be 2 by 2 selected in the grid from the table drop-down. Once I click, the table is inserted. And this is what it would look like before I add text. Since we don't need this table and I was just modeling how to insert it, I'm going to delete it. Now let's look at this table that includes the definition of metaphor and the definition of simile. While this table may appear visually accessible, it has not been made universally accessible, and we need to do that. In order to make it more accessible, we want to select the table, and we'll know it's selected after we've clicked upon it or selected it with the keyboard by the blue outline and hot corners, in addition to the table formatting options that appear once selected. And now we're going to scroll down to the bottom of the editor box. And underneath that box to the right-hand side, you'll find the accessibility checker icon. It looks like a circle with a body in it. And we're going to select the accessibility checker. And a new sidebar window appears to the right-hand side of my screen. You'll notice I have 2 issues, and we're on the first of 2, which reads, "Table should include a caption describing the contents of the table." So the first thing I want to do is add a caption. And you'll notice I've explored adding a caption, so that's why when I click in the box, I get some choices available to me. And the choice that I'm going to use is definition of metaphor and simile. If no choices were presented, I would just type in the contents of my table, and now I will click apply in that sidebar. This takes me to our second issue. Tables should include at least one header. Headers are essential to tables. You may have header columns or rows or both. In this case, I'm going to click on the drop-down of the header box and choose header row, because we only have one header in this table, and it is that top row that shows the student which definition is present for which word. So I will select header row and choose apply. Now the accessibility checker feels that we no longer have any accessibility issues. Please note that any accessibility checker that you use, like this one in Canvas or one in Google, such as Grackle, or Word's accessibility checker, none of them are 100% perfect. They do require human interaction and human checks as well. So please know that those checkers cannot be fully relied upon. In this case, my table has been given a caption at the top. I also note that metaphor and simile have been centered in the header row, which is a visual indicator that I've added that specific row header. And my table is now more universally accessible to all of my students, especially students that might be using a screen reader and having this table information read auditorily. Don't forget that it is necessary to scroll down and click Save once you are ready to publish and for your students to access your assignment.